played an award show in Scotland called EMAs. Like a big kind of MTV award thing. And in order to do it, you have to rehearse those things. You can't just show up because there's so many lights and everything's cued and it's live and you can't fuck up. So you have to rehearse. And the trouble is that we had a show that got in the way of that. We said, look, we're really sorry, but we've got to do this show. We can't let the fans down. We've got to do this thing. And they said, well, we'll get you a jet. And we were like, fuck. That's the first time that's ever happened. So I'm like telling everyone that we got a jet, you know, morale's high. I was like, oh really? Really? So we got there. This thing is like a 30-year-old propeller plane that looks like a fucking minibus with wings on it. We walk in and it's like, yeah, it's old as fuck. Like the seat belts they're just like shitty old car seat belts. We take off and honestly it was like taking off in a van. It was like, it was scary. An hour into the flight, it started getting a bit stormy. I spent most of the flight in the cockpit actually, because I was like, what does that do? What does that do? And the pilot's like, well, you know. And they're literally pointing at things, you know, it's all by eye really, and numbers. And he's like, okay, it's getting a bit bumpy, so like sit back in your seat. So I got back in my chair, put my seatbelt on as loose as it could go so I could still be in the cockpit. And we were all having a laugh. There's probably about 10 of us, and then out of nowhere, the plane just falls out the sky. I hit the end of my seatbelt, so I'm like free, like yeah, just in mid-air. Ben hasn't put on his seatbelt, flies up, and is on the fucking ceiling. And then as soon as we hit the air again, everything gets thrown up in the air. Ben smashes into the seats, all the seats fall down. All the piss out of the toilet is now running down the center aisle. Everyone thinks they're gonna die. Our lighting guy is like white as a sheet, holding onto the chair, just looking down. People are holding onto things. I was all right. I think I was so panicked and shocked. I don't know, I was laughing a lot of the time. I was laughing at our guitar tech because he looked like he's about to shit himself. When it dropped, it was the pilot's face that got me, because he was turning around kind of being a bit silly and joking, and when it dropped in slow-mo it was just like headphones on, and they're like holding on, it's like serious, you can hear the radios going off, all this shit's flashing. And they did a great job. They landed the plane completely sideways, or like crabbing in from the storm. Yeah, that's probably the closest to death I've ever been.